Healing your mental health is as important as your physical health, but taking that first step can be difficult. Growth and Guidance Counseling is on a mission to teach others to live healthier. Founder and owner Jalinia Logan shares how they take therapeutic counseling, education, and wellness services to the next level.
I am a licensed clinical social work psychotherapist. My specialty is in treating anxiety as a certified clinical anxiety treatment professional, as also a nurse. I've worked in healthcare over the last 12 plus years. And so in that time, I started off in nursing, but got into mental health as I knew that I wanted to do more than just stabilize patients and clients and the people that I were encountering. And so in doing that, I came across private practice therapy. And that was by chance of going to therapy myself. And I said, wow, I could do that. And so pretty much from there, that's how I got into therapy private practice. I started off as an individual practice, solo practice, which has grown into a group practice. And from there, we now have about, I want to say, 6 clinicians and an administrative assistant. We've had 2 clinical interns. So that's just a little bit about the backstory of the practice.
Well, it sounds like you're doing incredible work and needed more than ever, I'm sure, after the pandemic.
Yes, definitely. I definitely saw that there was a great need, very in demand as far as people seeking out mental health services and just wanting to receive more support and being more open about it. So it was definitely imperative that I, continue to be able to make this happen.
And Jalinia, tell me what sets your therapy practice apart from others.
So one thing about our office is that because of the nursing background history, I wanted to ensure that we not only provided mental health support, but we provided mental and medical health support. And so our practice ensures that all of our clients, about 90% of the client population, has an identified primary care physician. And so what that means is that if they already have one, we're like, okay, that's great. But if they don't, we will help them find one by way of insurance, or we direct them to someone that's local to them as close as possible.
What are some of the typical conditions that your office treats?
So typical conditions that our office treats is anxiety. Granted, because like I mentioned before, I'm an anxiety therapist. We also treat depression, trauma, PTSD, everyday like work-life stress, and just various other mental health conditions.
And what are some of the ways that you address anxiety?
Well, let me start off by saying this. We believe in meeting people where they are. And so we try to implement what we call a strengths-based approach. And what that is helping people focus on their strengths as opposed to just their weaknesses. That way they feel more empowered and they, have the reduced likelihood of having more anxiety. So when doing that, we also include what we call mindfulness-based practices. Now, mindfulness-based practices, to someone who's never heard of it, is just simply just getting people to be exactly how it sounds, more mindful, being more aware, focused, and present in the moment. And so how we approach that, we give them tools such as exercises, deep breathing. I tell people the best way to start off is to start your day with mindfulness practices. So allowing them to know that they have to prioritize themselves in a form of self-care, being able to do deep breathing. I teach them about intentional deep breathing, not like the conscious breathing you and I are doing right here as we talk, but breathing in through your nose, inhaling through your nose and exhaling out of your mouth. What that means is maybe inhaling the positive and breathing out the negative, right, to help them refocus. So that's a little bit of how we approach that, in addition to other therapeutic techniques such as yoga, meditation, exercise, and of course, healthy dieting as well.
Yeah, that's an incredible message. In terms of other types of behavioral health services that you provide, I mean, it sounds like you do everything from individual to group therapy too.
Yeah, so we provide individual therapy, we provide couples therapy, family therapy. We've also had a few group sessions. We have, in addition to that, life coaching for anyone who wants to pursue anything as it relates to career or just getting more personal development. So yeah. And
wonderful opportunities for people that are trying to get into the field too.
Absolutely, yes. So we try to ensure that our new grads that are fairly, coming out of graduate school or just college in general, get opportunities if they're interested in becoming therapists in the field of mental mental health. Also, we have clinical interns that, need some type of support as far as completing their hours towards their clinical education and, maintaining that for their course curriculum as well.
If you would like to learn more about mental health and wellness, reach out to Growth and Guidance Counseling Services. You can book an appointment through its website, growthandguidancecounselingservices.com. The phone number and email is also right there on your screen.
So important.
Yeah, and something else Jalinia told me that she is actually hiring right now.
Oh,
so
great.
If you're in the,
industry.
Yeah,
That's
check out her. Yeah.
All right, coming up next, the Chicago Magic Lounge is sticking around to make us some of the magical signature cocktails for us.
Daytime Chicago is sponsored by Growth and Guidance Counseling Services.